Hey, good morning, everybody. What's up? It's your man Rico the opinionist. I'm up this morning, get ready to get my run on. Y'all know, I don't know about Beyonce, but I don't wake up like this. I have to put the work in, God damn it. And once you get older, especially when you get over 50, you have to kind of make a deal with Mother Nature and respect Father Time. Go glory. So I'm definitely going to get my run on. I haven't posted my running and exercise as much as I used to, but I'm still running with Rico and still trying to stay in shape. And guess what I have with me? I still have, I think she bought me this a couple years ago. My friend Mary Max, it's got wear and tear on it. This is what she bought me because she was always concerned about me not being hydrated enough when I come outside and go running and all of that. She's like, look, man, you need to have your water. So she bought me this, and I keep it with me whenever I step outside the door for the most part. So thank you, Mary Max, for this. It's about a year ago. It holds 32 ounces of water, and I finish it by the time I'm done running. I'm out of there. So, and good morning, everybody who's up. You're on your way to work, already at work. Those of you who've gotten up on your overnight shift, hey. And I guess the party is starting. And this is my second appearance on my Facebook page, and this will be shared on my YouTube channel. And I think from here on out, I think I have one more appearance to make on my Facebook page this Sunday, something like that. I may do in and out, I guess during the election season. But mainly, I'll be on my YouTube channel, Rico the Opinionist. Check it out. Instagram, you'll start seeing me more there on Instagram and Twitter. Twitter, man, is on fire. Y'all say what y'all want to say, but Twitter goes in, or X, or whatever you want to call it. It goes in. So I'll just kind of be hopping around the place, here and there, checking out posts and posting my own content of what I think about what's going on. And that's what I do. I share opinions, and I pay attention to what's happening. And I don't know, after the announcement of Joe Biden, after he announced that he was, he was given a call by the actual donor class of the Democratic Party. It wasn't nobody black. Told y'all, black folks they're under the impression that they have some control through their vote, but not really. The donor class is what makes it happen in both parties, Republican as well as Democrats. But Democrats actually think that black people have some pull in their party. And it's gotten so far to think that women think they have some pull in their party. It's interesting. But it's just something to watch. Please don't take my words as being condescending or anything like that. Good morning, Calvin. But I want to say this. And what I'm about to talk about, those of you who know me for years know this is not a new topic for me. When I was a student years ago, I talked about this stuff. And even before me, decades before me, they called him Dr. John Henry Clark, or Dr. Ben Yakahana. And here in Dallas, a brother by the name of Ashwa Kwesi. We've had scholars to talk about this anomaly, this itch in our race called the Divine Nine, or Black Greeks, and how they do things. And rest in peace, brother Steve Coakley. Steve Coakley spent his whole life trying to educate us about who these folks are. And this is not me attacking. All I'm doing is just repeating what you can read in the books yourselves. Peace, Pro Reacher, what's up? And this is not a divide and conquer. It's about, y'all know I always share observations. I don't pick sides. I have to tell everything. And I've always talked about this itch, this little glitch in our race called, the Divine Nine, or Black Greeks, or however you want to do it. And before I continue, I have a lot of them who are part of these organizations, who are cool with me and I'm cool with them. If they truly know me, which I think a few of them do, they know I mean no harm to them as people. But I'm always going to talk about these institutions. And these institutions have been an impediment in the progress of the black race as a group. Because even though we say we're not a monolith, but when it comes down to certain things, we tend to branch off in our own special little groups. And I can even throw in the LGBT, the black LGBT, the feminist black women. And then you have the black Greeks. They all stand on the backs of us as a massive mass to get their individual group goals achieved. And it's been going on forever. I mean, like, damn, we got Jews, you got white women, you got immigrants, you got everybody else riding off the back of the black masses. Then you have these separate groups in our race who also stand on our shoulders and stand on our pain and stand on our poverty to get them to elevate themselves. Black Greeks, black LGBT, and these feminist black women, all three of them are guilty of this for the longest time. And so last night, and it happened last election season as well. Good morning, Anita. Hey, Nene, what's up? They do this every year. They branch off to themselves and show just how productive they can be when it's something that they want as a group. The LGBT, the black gays do it. The black religious do it. Black Greeks do it. Everyone does it. But no one wants to come together as one black race to form a mighty fist. Shout out to Elijah Muhammad. They all do it. And last night was them again showing their true colors, and one of the colors not being black. Last night, I guess when it came out that Biden endorsed Kamala. And it's funny how all the other information that disappears, all of a sudden she's this great person. She's this viable candidate. Do what you will. And then somehow the blackened nation, or the blackening of this non-black woman, seems to take grasp among a lot of us who don't seem to know what black is. And let me give you that litmus test, or that quick test. I'm going to pose a few questions. What two people have to come together to create a white baby, or have sex and create and produce a white baby? What two people have to have sex to create an Asian baby? What two people have to come together and have sex to create a Mexican baby? And all right, this is the tough one that we can't seem to get right. What two people have to come together to have sex to create a black baby? Y'all can answer the questions at your own time, or you can put it in the chat. If you know the answers to any one of them, please feel free to put it up in the chat. And last night was something amazing. What I do is I sit back and I observe. Maybe that's the Aquarius in me. I can't help it. Even when I was a little boy, I was always an introvert, and I just watched a lot of things. I observed a lot of behaviors, and I listened to a lot of people say. I still do that as a grown person. Even at 55 years old, I still do the same thing. So my perspective comes from listening to you and watching you. So I'm basically giving you what you said and what you do, or how you behave. That's what I do. So please, charge it to my head and not to my heart. Oh, glory. So last night, I saw Roland Martin do something that I thought was amazing. He summonsed, and now the count goes up to 15,000 black men to come on his website to cheerleader for Kamala Harris. And who they've determined that is a black woman. And we all have read, well, I can't say we all, I'll just speak for myself and those who know how to read books and know what black is. We see that this woman is not black. And we know that every time the Democratic Party presents a black person, they're usually mulatto. Barack Obama, Cory Booker, what's this one, Kamala Harris. None of them are actually black. Then to the credit of the Republican Party, the conservatives, whenever they present somebody, a senator or someone who's a black Republican, like a Ben Carson is actually black. Byron Donalds is actually black. Who else? Tim Scott is actually black. Now, we may not like them because of their politics and their bootlicking behavior, but they're actually black. So how come the Democratic Party is supposed to be for black folks, whenever they present someone to be the politician that they want you to vote for that's supposed to be black, they always give you a mulatto or biracial, light skin as always. Did y'all hear what I'm saying? And so the black Greeks have determined that this mulatto, non-black woman is black, and they made her, and they are going for what is called history. And that group has always been famous for and known for, we got to make history. While black people are suffering, they want to make history. The first black this, and they're usually mulatto. They're the first person that, or I am the CEO of this, I am the president of that. They love, I'm the mayor of this, I'm the state representative of that. They always love positions, and it gives the false pretense that they're actually working on behalf of the black race. When you go back 100 years of the creation of the black Greeks, it was never about the black race. Because the first 10 to 20 years of black Greeks were all mulattoes. Did y'all know that? They were all mulattoes. It wasn't until the 50s or 60s that you started saying actual black people part of the black Greeks. So they still have that brown fellowship mentality. What's that brown paper bag test mentality. Even though a lot of them come look like me, and a lot of them look like Whoopi Goldberg now, or a lot of them look like Don Cheadle and look like Ice Cube. But they still have that brown paper bag or that brown fellowship society. Look it up. Brown Fellowship Society mentality. Whenever they put someone before black people to be the leader in the Democratic Party, they always look like Cory Booker, Kamala Harris. In my hometown, John Ford, Harold Ford, they always look non-black. This is not me talking. This is what my eyes have always observed. And so last night, Roland Martin, who is admitted to be a boule, loves his black fraternity, disrespects any black person who dare to say that they have their own mind and they're not going to be a Democrat. He disrespects them and disrespects the black masses if it looks as if we're not supporting a Democrat. He refers to us as idiots, stupid ass. He's belligerent, he's ignorant. And people listen to him, but I can't take away his ability to do research and put out facts as he sees them. And a lot of stuff is researchable. So I can't take that away from him. He is smart, but he's a fugazi, zesty ass, boule, fat ass punk dude. Don't care for him because he's disingenuous. But he was able to get 15,000 black men, 90% of the Black Greekdom Society, to come on his page, and they did a really serious cheerleading for Kamala Harris. And their goal was to outdo the black women, feminist black women, and black Greek females who went on a raging rampage of raising money for this mulatto candidate for president, right? They reportedly raised, I guess, 1.2, 1.3, the women. And so Boule Martin said, we want to outdo the women. And I watched this program on YouTube. It was live on YouTube. I watched it for like 30 minutes, maybe 45 minutes. And I just watched in amazement. I said, wow. And they were in the chats. They were doing their thing. I said, this ain't got nothing to do with us as a black race. This is some black Greek shit. They doing that for them. They're doing that for the parties, for the hopeful that she'll win and issue out jobs to some of them. Cause that's what Boule Martin wants. He wants a White House job so badly that he can taste it. To the point that they would even push a rickety, crickety old man with Parkinson's disease, allegedly. And so they were able to raise, I saw the report this morning. He said they were able to get 53,000 people or men, black men, registered to vote and raise $1.6 million overnight, last night. And I said, wow, where is this black Greek power when for issues that really affect the black race? Isn't it interesting you can never get a black Greek to raise money or to speak publicly out loud for reparations, I dare you. Go ask a member of a Divine Nine about reparations and have them to speak about it on record. Won't mention. And isn't it interesting that when it's something that's hurting black men, black Greeks don't publicly make statements or raise money? I know we've had some of the brothers here and there say, black men this, black men that, but no, I never take them seriously because I watch what they do. They raised $1.6 million for a mulatto who already is guaranteed $400 million plus in a war chest should the Democrats decide to officially nominate her. She hasn't even been officially nominated. And then a lot of blacks want to talk about, well, this is the election of your life. That democracy is at stake. Well, what about the democracy of allowing all of the black Democrats to play a part in officially nominating who they want to be the replacement for Joe Biden? Did y'all hear what I just said? That hasn't even happened. They just pushed on in there. She's the preemptive choice. Or is it presumptive? Is it preemptive or presumptive? Y'all help me out. Put it in the chat. So I watched something amazing. And then last year, they had the Chucks and the last election. They had the Chucks and Pearls. They had all of that going on for this woman. But none of those black women ever marched to save the lives of black boys and inner city black girls. Those are the same women that marched to the Megan Thee Stallion concert. So I can't help but point this out. They're the same women that sit by and watch them put videos out there saying no bucking, no love to the black community. They didn't say a word. So if you ask me if I take women seriously when it comes to politics, no, I can't. Because they don't stand up for what's really needed. You can't have a society without heterosexual masculine black men. You can't stand by. You say you're so powerful, but you stand by and watch this structure attack and destroy black boys in the first grade. A lot of you are teachers in these systems. When they talk about incarceration of black men, guess who a lot of are the judges? A lot of the judges are black. They talk about having a seat at the table. A lot of them are judges. A lot of them are prosecutors. A lot of them are defense attorneys. A lot of them are all of these things. And they sit there and they sit in silence. They don't say a word. They don't protest a word. They're in the system. A lot of these folks that joined Roland Martin's podcast last night, they're in the system. They're helping to incarcerate black men. They're there. They're the judges. Did y'all know that judge that hugged the murderer of Bolton John, who walked around from her desk and hugged the murderer? She's a member of Delta Sigma Theta. She hugged the murderer and gave that murdering bitch a Bible. A member of Delta Sigma Theta. I'm telling you, I'm not making this up. And it grows across the board. Let me tell you something else. They only come out when it's convenient. They don't even help. They don't even come out for their own unless it's something that makes them look good. Let me tell y'all this. And I'm still talking about politics. Do y'all remember when, what's that mulatto's name? He played football. I can't remember his name. Damn. What's that? That mulatto. He stood up. He did the kneeling on behalf of black men being unarmed black men being shot by the cops. And his name gonna come to me. And he stood up and he used his platform to shine light on that. He happened to be a member of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated. The Kappas never said a word in his support. They never came out for his support. Never publicly. And I know his name gonna come up. Y'all put in the chat if you know his name. What's his name? See, what's that damn dude's name? Shit. But anyway, they didn't say a word. When the heat was on and everybody was on his ass, Kaepernick. There you go. I knew it was gonna come. Kaepernick, regardless of whether we thought he gave up his career or not. But the point for me was that he actually used his platform as then a current and popular football player. He used his platform to shine light on policemen, rogue cops, shooting and murdering unarmed black men. The heat was so bad against him that even black men who played in the NFL were too afraid to stand up, except for a few. That's let you know the backbone of a lot of black dudes too. Damn. But the Divine Nine didn't come to his rescue. They didn't make public statements. They didn't say anything. Kappa Alpha Psi didn't come to his rescue. But let me tell you, when they came to his rescue, well, they didn't come to his rescue. They came to the rescue of a fellow member of Kappa Alpha Psi. I'm going to tell y'all, listen, and I ain't lying. I saw this on the news. I watched it. And I know y'all saw it too, but a lot of you rather just keep silent. Well, I'm a big mouth. There was this Mexican and white judge. He was Mexican and white mixed. He was a member of Kappa Alpha Psi. He said something that Trump didn't like, and Trump came at him. And all of a sudden, they developed a mouth. The members of Kappa Alpha Psi. They came down. The national organization, the national headquarters wrote a letter to condemn Trump. But they had nothing to say to the NFL, to those coaches who told Kaepernick, get the F on, and told black men, if you dare join Kaepernick in the kneeling, your ass is fired. Kappa Alpha Psi didn't say shit. But when that white and Mexican was talked crazy to by Donald Trump, all of a sudden now they found a voice. Number two, this is when they came to Kaepernick's defense. When all the dust had settled and Cap had moved on and wasn't nobody tripping, all of a sudden, the national organization of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated wrote a letter saying, hey, I think he's been punished enough, y'all. Can y'all give Kaepernick his job back? He deserves to be playing football. This is after all the smoke had cleared. I'm telling y'all, I've always said in my own mouth and on live that black Greeks aren't black people. They're a separate group. They think of themselves as being part of the talented 10th. Now, W.B. Du Bois said the talented 10th would be the leaders, or the ones who's supposed to lead the rest of the masses onto economic and educational and all that prominence. They're supposed to be leading the rest of us into a type of freedom and economic and educational freedom. They haven't done that. Y'all know damn well. They take the talented 10th behavior as ego. Luckily, we had our scholars. Shout out to Dr. Claude Anderson, Dr. John Henry Clark, Dr. Ben Yakahanan, and Brother Steve Coakley. We had our scholars, Dr. Amos Wilson. We had our scholars to correct us on who these people really are. And again, this is nothing against those of you who've pledged over the years. I met some good dudes, some actually proud to be black dudes who happen to be members of the Divine Nine, and some sisters who are really tough. One of my mentors, who I love her even in her grave, Dr. Dorothy L. Alexander, who is one of the old school members of Delta Sigma Theta, who loved me not as a person but as a scholar and as a colleague, and I loved her to the moon. And another sister who was and when I was a student, Miss Audrey Warren, who's a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. So I don't have anything against people. But I'm not going to not tell the truth about the institution. And there are those within that institution who carry that arrogance, that ego, and that underlying anti-black sentiment. But they're pro-Greek. I'll give y'all some more examples. Isn't it interesting that all people who are members of these Divine Nines, they'll watch all these negative shows that's depicting black people horribly. All these Negro shows on Stars and BET Her and Plus and all that, all these degrading shows. They'll watch that, but as soon as VH1, this happened years ago, as soon as VH1 had a show called Sorority Sisters, and they show AKs and Deltas and others drinking liquor, acting a fool, throwing no fighting and shit, 50,000 members of Divine Nine came together that said, no, we want that show off the air because it makes women, our sorority, and the women in our sorority look bad. As if members of AKA Delta Sigma Thetas aren't a bunch of ratchet baby mamas. Go to their boulets and their conclaves. You'll see that for yourself. Go to these college campuses. They're just as ratchet. But they didn't want that image of them on television. But I find it so hypocritical that they were concerned about those black women when black women who are in all these other shows are ratchet, they're fighting and cussing, they ain't never gotten together to shut down Basketball Wives. The black sorority women have never gotten together to shut down Real Housewives of Atlanta, Real Housewives of Potomac. Well, I think it's a bunch of mixed chicks on there. Or Black Ink, where black chicks look crazy. They've never. Y'all follow me now how these people work? There is a bougie element to these folks. Now let me tell you now, they throw the best damn parties, and I need them back this year at homecoming. I need the Black Greeks back at homecoming, because last year, without y'all, our homecoming sucked. And I'll talk more about that later. Calvin Williams, you spread the word, man. Whoever organized the homecomings before last year, I need them back. Because the breakfast was, it's like I paid $50 for a goddamn repast. It sucked. The alumni party on campus in that echoing ass intramural center, it was awful. And the campus, it just sucked. So I need the Black Greeks back at Grambling next year. Please come back, Black Greeks. Cause y'all throw the best goddamn parties. Y'all organize the best parties. Now I give y'all props for that. But y'all good for that. So I ain't taking it from you. Y'all make events exciting. Y'all are good for that. But your politics suck. Your loyalty to the black race sucks. You get low numbers from me. It's not what I heard is what I've seen and what I know, and history proves this. Now y'all will come back and say, well, we have all these positions. Yeah, y'all got all the positions. Y'all buck to get in front of the line so you can buck dance. I said it, goddammit, because it's the truth. And by the way, you don't have to be in a Black Greek or a Divine Nine to become an attorney, to become a doctor, to become a professor, a principal, a mayor, a city councilman. You don't. But within those systems that are heavily Divine Nine, that's why we can't get shut down in these major black cities. Because Black Greeks are the ones who are always elected. They're always up front. They're the ones that keep this impeding the black progress. In my hometown of Memphis, Tennessee, Black Greeks is mayor, Black Greeks all over the city council, Black Greeks all over the school board. They're everywhere. And all those systems are failing, have failed black children. Y'all don't understand. Now, why is my screen getting dark? Am I going too deep? I'll lighten it up. Come on, screen. What the fuck is going on? Don't start tripping now. I'm on a roll. And so they were able to raise all this money for this political candidate. When you can't get 15,000 those black men and those, and by the way, some of those black dudes, some of those Divine Nine dudes, they was wearing fingernail polish. They were wearing fingernail polish. And a lot of them, quite a few of them that came on because Roland Martin had them to come on and speak. You got 1 minute and 30 seconds, go. You got 1 minute and 30 seconds, go. And he called everybody he knew that was Black, Greek, or Boule. And a lot of them, I'm telling you, at least 75% of them it was a lot of zestiness in them. And yes, we need to fight for have Kamala. She's our black girl. And yes, I wrote a check. I mean, they was really zesty. So why is there so much zestiness in these Black Greek fraternities? It's a lot of zesty. Even when I was a student in college, a lot of zesty in these damn fraternities. But then, I guess you have to, I don't know. But anyway, y'all answer that shit. But if a lot of you are in denial about it, I'm not. But let me say this to the members to black men who are members of Black Greek who are not a Democrat, because it seems like that seems to be a requirement. You need to be a part of the NAACP, and you have to be a Democrat. Someone can correct me if that's wrong. Yeah, I think you have to be a member. You have to be a card. And when has the NAACP ever been? And that's another Greek-affiliated, Jew-affiliated organization that ain't done shit. It's not been beneficial for black people. So they're incubators for Democrats. Yeah, my phone is actually getting dark. For Democrats. It's crazy. So I want to appeal to those black fraternity members and sorority sisters who are not liberals, who are not. Do y'all get to talk about being Republican in your fraternity or your sorority? Or have y'all done like a lot of us who who are not Democrats. We're not necessarily Republicans or conservatives. We're just not Democrats. Are y'all allowed to speak, freely in your organization? I don't think so. Because it's so heavily inundated with Democrat and liberalism and feminism and LGBT that you come out as a straight black woman or a straight black man and say, no, I'm not voting for Biden and Harris. I'm voting for Trump, or I'm an independent. I'm voting for Robert F. Kennedy. I'm voting for Dr. Cornel West. Are y'all allowed to be free? Are y'all allowed to be free in your black fraternity? If you are a conservative. I remember when I was a student at Grambling, I know there was actually two Republicans that were out loud. I'm not going to name them, and one of them was a member of a fraternity. But they respected him because he's a real cool dude. But for the most part, if anybody else dared to say they were Republican or whatever on that campus, shit. Just like now, they'd be ostracized. As if this is not a holistic society. Everybody should be allowed to be whoever they want to be, even if they are black. It's amazing. And so, they raised $1.3 million. And the women overnight, and they're bragging about it. They're men. Well, we raised $1 million. Bunch of men. And y'all know this woman's record. Y'all know Biden's record when it comes to black men. Y'all know. And so meanwhile, while they're able to do this for this non-factor politician, they can't seem to. While they're congressmen and senators and all this, while they're congressmen, the mayor or the governor, these black Greek Democrats can't seem to come up with policy that actually benefits black people. Now, they can come up with stuff that helps the LGBT and Israel and Jews and Ukraine and illegal immigrants, but they can never come up with anything economically sound and specifically for black people. Y'all heard Kamala Harris said, I'm not going to do anything specific for black people. She's a member of AKA. Are y'all following me? This is not about divide and conquer. It's about spreading information. Because what I saw, in my opinion, was amazing. It was amazing. It was something to see. Roland Martin was able to get 15,000 Divine Nine black dudes, a lot of them was zesty, on that show, to attend, to log in. 53,000 black dudes, raised $1.6 million for this non-factor. But you can never get Roland Martin and the Divine Nine to raise $1.6 million to build a private school, a school for black boys, to raise money to put together the Mega Sci-Fi Hospital for black people, or the AKA maternity hospital for black women. As much as they complain about black women being discriminated against in this regular hospital or medical systems, they don't see stuff like that we need. But y'all can come up with all this money for a goddamn political candidate. There's already $400 million in the black. Y'all kidding me, right? Am I the only one who's seeing this? Y'all can't raise $1.6 million for all the stuff that's needed in the inner city. You can't raise black women, feminist black women, sorority black women. Y'all can't march chucks and pearls for even a private school for black girls in the cities where you live, a hospital, a bank, a factory that employ others. The stuff that we need. Y'all can raise all this money for a political candidate who's already gonna get donated $400 to $500 million for donors that make y'all look like Boy Scout and Girl Scouts? You're kidding me, right? Meanwhile, nobody's paying attention to something that actually matters. A young black man who's turning 25 on the 26th of this month, he started at age 19 taking black boys into his own little apartment when he was 19 years old in Albany, Georgia. 19 years old, taking in boys out of the juvenile system. He said, look, we have a problem in my hometown of Albany, Georgia, and nobody's helping black boys. They can't read in these school systems that are heavily dominated by black Greeks. But black children still can't read. They're not passing. But the principals, the school board, a lot of superintendents are black Greeks. Come on, y'all. Something's not right in Denmark. And then he grew and grew, but he became popular when he went on the show of a black Greek and a black boule named Roland Martin, and Roland Martin wanted to attack him about some goddamn voting. And the young man said, "Voting's not my issue. Our children can't read. Our children are growing up in rough homes. Our boys can't read. Our boys are dying. Our boys need our help. That's not my call." And Roland Martin on Twitter referred to him as an idiot. And this young man's name is King Randall. And any money that he's to get, hold on a minute, yeah. Any money that he's raised, now he's been doing this for years. With himself and in the internet, he was able to build his own school for black boys. But get this though, the old black folks on the school board and in that town were denying him those empty, abandoned schools in his hometown. They gave him problems. He said, "Look, y'all ain't using these schools. Can I open it up for these boys who are flunking out of school, who don't know how to read? They're in the criminal justice system." Do you know that they gave that dude hell and high water? It was somebody there that had a vacant church that had a school attached to it that was able to. He didn't want them to give it to him. He wanted to buy the school from the damn. They wouldn't sell it to him. And then, these are his words. He said that they told me that, yeah, you can have the school, but we want to put our teachers and our curriculum. He's like, why the hell would I buy a school from y'all and y'all put y'all teachers and y'all curriculum, the very two elements that's causing our kids to be failures in the first goddamn place? So he went off on his own. And he most recently did a 200-mile walk from Albany, Georgia to Atlanta. And he was able to raise $121,000 with no media coverage. No black media coverage. And by the way, do y'all know that black man, that young black man who did it on his own, has yet to be focus of any black form of media? He got his notoriety by being on Twitter, Instagram, talking about his plight. And this is the funny part. Anytime anybody's doing something for black boys, there's some hating going on. Some real progress is being made. So you can say, I help black boys, whatever. But when you start making real progress with black boys like he did, all of a sudden the hating started. That school board in Albany, Georgia, the politicians there started hating on him. And number two, he couldn't get on no black program. Not even black YouTubers had this young man on their shows to talk to him. He was on one show, he was on Roland Martin, and Roland Martin wanted to talk crazy to him because he said he wasn't a Democrat and he didn't give a shit about voting. Voting wasn't his priority. So Roland Martin tried to humiliate and attack him, and the boy went viral off of Roland Martin attacking a 20-year-old young man who's doing work for young black boys who are disenfranchised in the city of Albany. God damn. And so, from then on, he went on to Fox News. A black dude by the name of Lawrence. What's Lawrence name? He's the black dude that does Weekend on Fox News. He started featuring him on the show. And then all of a sudden, black folks come out some, be careful, man. You don't know the Republicans. They might give you money. They might give you shine, but you have to be careful of them. All of a sudden, Negroes started paying attention to this young black man who had been out there for at least 2-3 years, yelling, screaming to the high heavens, y'all help me, I'm out here doing this on my own, use my own money, with the help of a few people who are supporting me. Black masses, help me help these black boys. Never. But when white folks start showing him some attention and donating thousands of dollars to him where he can help to buy his school and get clothes and stuff for these black boys, and then he even created shelter for these unwanted black boys in his town. Him now, by himself. All of a sudden there was criticism, and still today, this young black man walked from Albany to Atlanta, 200 miles. He just did this past week, the last 8 days. Not one black media source, VH1 or TV1, Bounce, BET Plus, with that nasty ass ignorant Miss Pat on. What else we got? None of these black podcasters, The Shade Room, Madame Noir, none of these black male, not even these black male podcasts. Nobody had him on. And he's doing this. See, that young brother there is it's who I admire. That's who I admire, right there. See, black Greeks black fraternities could really be effective if that was their agenda with black boys. Now, of course, we got mentoring programs. Them out of all of y'all, that's all y'all, about 100 black boys a year out of 10,000 goddamn black Greek organizations? 100 a year? Get out of here. And so, but y'all able to raise millions of dollars for a goddamn political candidate. But anyway, I just wanted to share that. Again, this is no hate at all, because y'all know me in person. I'm the nicest man on the planet. I'm very cordial to who's cordial to me. And y'all know this because the proof is in the pudding. I've seen a lot of folks out in real life. You say hi to me, I say hello to you. And I don't care what you said to me on Facebook, because I leave it at Facebook. I do. I don't discuss it, what I say on Facebook in public, not for free. Now, if you want to say, Rico, I want to ask you about what you said, just hit my Cash App, Rico the Opinion, $, Rico the Opinionist. My Zelle is Ricoinnorthmemphis at hotmail.com. Or I think it's Marico Rivers, Marico Rivers. That's my Zelle. Hit me up, and my conversation start at $100 per question, $75 for follow-ups. But what we're not going to do is, I'm not going to give you my time to argue about nothing for free. Now, if you want to have me worked all up, the Cash App better be popping, because I don't talk in public for free. Now, my private friends, we talk all the time about all kinds of shit. For those of you who are not my friends and I don't know you, just because we went to school together, you know we don't hang out. Or you just happen to see me, this got shared around. We're not going to argue about anything. You see me in the mall, or see me in a restaurant, or see me jogging and running. No, you may not ask me anything for free. So pass that word. No, you can't ask him shit for free. No, you may not. Hey, Chris Pete, what's up? So y'all share and like. I appreciate those of you coming up, because it's time for me to go ahead and get my jog on. We got to decide, black Greeks, are y'all a part of our race or not? Because all this dilly-dallying and playing games, y'all be black when it's convenient, or y'all try to pick which black person. By the way, black Greeks, how come y'all don't ever celebrate black people like Dr. John Henry Clark? How come the masses of you don't ever talk about Dr. Claude Anderson? And another thing, the scholars, how come y'all never talk about people like that? Y'all never honor them. Y'all don't talk about black women like Dr. Frances Cress Welsing. Y'all never talk about black women like that, but y'all throw up there Michelle Obama all day long, like she's made such an impact in black girls' life, or in the black race's life. You don't never talk about Dr. Julia Hare, who is a proud AKA. Y'all never talk about her. Y'all never talk about Dr. Joy Leary, who wrote the Post-Traumatic Slave Syndrome book. Dr. Julia Hare wrote Miseducation of the Black Child, Re-Education of the Black Family, something like that. Dr. Frances Cress Welsing wrote the book, the ISIS Papers. Y'all never celebrate black women like that. You never do it at the Essence Festival. Never. I said, wonder why. You'll never talk about Ida B. Wells Barnett. You'll never talk about, and then it hit me. I said, the reason black women who are feminists, or black women who are in sororities, and of course y'all know, not all, don't celebrate black women like that who I just named, they all have one thing in common. They celebrate black men. They love black men. They fought and tried to fight on behalf of black men. All these women that I know, y'all never mention those conscious or African Senate sisters. Black Greek men don't talk about Dr. John Henry Clark, because if you're in a black fraternity and you're talking about Dr. John Henry Clark, Dr. Ben Yakahanan, Dr. Ivan Van Sertima, Dr. Amos Wilson, Dr. Claude Anderson, and who else are the scholars? Sheikh Diop, Hershaka Berashengo. You talking about scholars like that? You talking about Chairman Fred Hampton? You wouldn't be in that black Greek fraternity. Because these are all the men who talk about white supremacy and the importance of being black and who we are genetically and historically. And then they don't really shine so brightly on the institution of Divine Nine. So I know you don't want to talk about those cats. I know this because it was those of us who talked about those cats that the black Greeks didn't care for when we was the students at Grambling. Except for a few of y'all. Got it? I remember I met this brother at a hip hop conference on the campus of Fisk University. That's where I met brother Neely Fuller, who wrote the book The Code. Yeah, it's called The Code. Damn, what's that book? It's a big white book. And I met this brother. He has his website. He denounced Alpha Phi Alpha because he started studying Dr. Ben and Dr. John Henry Clark, and he was certainly a huge fan of brother Steve Coakley. Steve Coakley. And Steve Coakley's series on busting out the boule and the secret behind the sororities and fraternities. And he has a website called The Ghetto Times, and he talks about the boule files and all of that stuff and secret societies. And the website again is The Ghetto, D-A-G-H-E-T-T-O Times, T-Y-M-Z, The Ghetto Times. Go check it out. And this brother used to be a member of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated. And he denounced or renounced that organization once he got into the knowledge of who we are. And so again, I don't go too hard on y'all as individuals, but let me end it by saying this. Black Greeks, y'all get on the black side and stop being on that, stop trying to play the middle and be on the white side for acceptance. Hell, the civil rights movement came to be because of black gays, black Greeks, and black religious. They did that. Let me tell y'all something. Y'all ain't gonna believe this. The black Greeks did something in opposition to the movement of Marcus Garvey. Y'all know who Marcus Garvey. They did it in opposition to the movement of Elijah Muhammad. They did it in opposition to the movement of Malcolm X. Meaning those three men were talking about autonomous freedom, independent freedom for black people. The black Greeks and the black boule and the black gays wanted assimilation because they wanted jobs on the plantation. And that's the same way they act today. Anybody that talks about Africanness or consciousness or who we are as a race, the black Greeks can't stand us. And I say us because y'all hear the way I talk. And that's that shit right there. They've always, when Marcus Garvey was saying back to Africa and we need to get away from this old devil in 1922, they had a mulatto biracial black Greek and boule member by the name of W.E.D. Du Bois who hated on him, referred to him as a gorilla. But when he was given his quote-unquote nigger wake-up card, when he wrote something against the hypocrisy of the United States government as it relates to the treatment of black people, then he was forced out of the NAACP because he's one of the founders with those white Jews. He was forced out of the NAACP and off of the then Crisis magazine where he wrote that article. Guess where he ended up moving his little boot-licking ass to? Accra, Ghana, Africa. And they have a statue of him there from what I understand. I was checking out a documentary. They got a statue of him there. They only knew what the turncoat he was, how he really... And black Greeks love this book called The Soul on Ice. I mean, what's that? The Souls of Black Folks. Oh, they love that book. I have it in my damn self because it's good reading. But that's their Bible. The Souls of Black Folks. That's the farthest they'll go. But not all. Again, I'm not talking about all. Y'all know who you are. And so then... you have, when Farrakhan was doing his thing, they had, who else? Malcolm X had Dr. King and all them civil rights Negroes. There's always an opposition whenever an actual black leader who speaks for the core of the foundation of the people, they always get a bow tie, a tight suit, well-dressed, well-English-speaking, created structure of a man from one of the Divine Nines, or he's a homosexual. Yeah. It never fails, but y'all do your own research. Don't call me all these names. Rico, you lying, you tripping, you ain't. There's no need for that. I'm already built. I'm not bought. I was built from the root of who we are. All you gotta do is read the books and look at the documentaries. Our people are there. So... yeah, it's been going on. They wanted civil rights because they wanted white folks to be civil. Malcolm X, Marcus Garvey, Ida B. Wells, Fannie Hamer said that our blood is drenched in this flag. They wanted human rights, but the civil rights, boule, black Greeks, and black gays wanted civil because they still wanted to be able to, get jobs under white supremacy in positions. Y'all get it? Well, anyway, I have to go running now because I've been on here too long. But y'all be cool. Thank y'all so much. It's your man Rico the Opinionist. I appreciate you. Charge it to my head, y'all, and not to my heart. I swear. But we're going to stop this bullshit. If y'all can be this powerful on y'all for just y'all selves, just tell us. We ain't with y'all. And also, I'm about to tell on behalf of those of us black folks who are black to the bone, those black Greeks, they ain't like us. Y'all take it easy. Peace.